mic.
I'm gonna come hug you right now. I'm coming to hug you. Big hug. Get up and love each other.
They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. And look, in the wrong room. And Nick, come here. Come here. Is that two niggas kissing?
You know, and you see things like the white party be there, and then they have Lil Baby like in a sandwich. Like they're hugging him from the front and the back.
Katt Williams has been speaking for years about how Hollywood, the music industry, and those exclusive parties aren't what they seem. Most people think it's just champagne, networking, and business deals, but Katt insists there's another layer. He claims these gatherings involve rituals tied to control, power, and secrecy. According to him, humiliation and initiation acts are common, and they serve as gateways for artists to maintain status. His perspective challenges the polished image of entertainment and sparks ongoing debate. Now, some fans believe Lil Baby might be a recent example supporting Katt's claims. Lately, Lil Baby has been moving differently compared to how he first entered the scene. He's been showing off new thigh tattoos, wearing a pink belt with a tank top, and pulling up his shorts on stage to expose his legs. While many chalk this up to changing fashion, Katt Williams views it through a different lens. To him, these aren't casual style choices but signs of ritualistic acts within the industry. He argues that rappers and entertainers are pushed into these displays as part of something deeper. For Katt, it's less about clothing and more about what it represents. From Katt's perspective, what fans see on stage can sometimes be linked to hidden loyalty tests or initiation steps. He frames it as a way for the industry to decide who gets to stay in position and who doesn't. By his account, this is how certain celebrities secure their privileges and influence over time. Supporters of his theory think Lil Baby's recent actions fit right into that pattern. Critics, however, see it as nothing more than evolving artistry and personal preference. Whether true or not, the conversation continues to grow louder every time Katt speaks on it.
Care how people feel about the ritual. It's about, does following the ritual work? And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but
Now, Katt's whole philosophy is that once you notice somebody moving differently after being around certain people, it usually means something deeper is going on. He's been in the industry long enough to recognize the signs, and he believes those changes aren't just harmless style choices. To Katt, it's influence, the kind that comes from being pulled into circles that carry more weight than the public realizes. And when he looks at Lil Baby, those shifts are hard to ignore. The tattoos, the new fashion statements, and the timing all raise questions. For Katt, these aren't coincidences. Things really got interesting after Lil Baby attended that all-white Hamptons party hosted by billionaire Michael Rubin. Katt has been side-eyeing that moment ever since, suggesting it could have been the point where Baby crossed into a different kind of environment. From Katt's perspective, those parties aren't just about good times and networking. He sees them as tests, opportunities for powerful people to influence and shape careers. And once an artist shows up at one, Katt believes their path tends to look very different afterward. For him, it was enough to say, yeah, they got him. What really fueled the conversation was the recent viral clip of Lil Baby performing on stage in shorts, lifting them up, and showing off fresh tattoos on his thighs. The reaction online was immediate, because not long ago, Baby had said he would never get tattoos. Fans remembered those statements clearly, so his new ink stood out even more. Social media lit up with people debating whether this was just personal growth or something deeper. And for those who follow Katt Williams' perspective, it only seemed to line up with his warnings.
I hear that you say that you don't have any tattoos at all.
Nope. That was really my only reason, like, from being younger, like, I don't want no tattoo. I know I'm gonna have something to do when I get older.
Yes, sir.
With my money and all.
And now people online are pointing out that Lil Baby hasn't really seemed the same since he started spending more time with Michael Rubin. That raises the obvious question, Who exactly is Ruben? And why is he constantly surrounded by these young rappers? The first thing to note is that Ruben isn't a musician, producer, or executive. He's not an A&R or anyone tied directly to the industry in that way. That fact alone makes the situation look unusual. Instead, Ruben is a billionaire who made his fortune in sports merchandise, yet somehow his circle includes Meek Mill, Drake, Jay-Z, Travis Scott, and Lil Baby. What makes it even more surprising is that it's not just rappers who show up at his mansion. Big names from outside hip-hop like Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Brady are also seen at his events, blending Hollywood and sports with rap in one space. For fans, it looks like Ruben is a central connector, but for Katt Williams, that connection sets off alarms. He's been warning artists for years about billionaires who suddenly appear in hip-hop without a real history in the culture. Katt's point is that when outsiders step in, it's rarely just about friendship or networking. According to Katt, what looks like access or opportunity often turns into influence and control. These wealthy figures present themselves as supporters of the culture, but he believes their role is more about shaping careers behind the scenes. To him, they pull artists into their world under the promise of opportunities, only to put them in positions where they're dependent on those relationships. And in Katt's view, the pattern repeats too often to ignore. So when people connect Ruben's name with Baby's recent changes, it fits right into the warnings Katt has been giving for years.
When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Or now let's break down how people believe Lil Baby might have been caught up at Ruben's 2023 Hamptons party. It all started when a photo surfaced of Baby standing between Ruben and NBA player Kyle Kuzma. That picture immediately made its way across social media, and even 50 Cent couldn't resist commenting. He reposted it to his Instagram, writing, "See, this is why I don't go to parties with Puffy and them. What's going on here?" He followed it up with another jab, saying, "Get off my young guy," making it clear he wasn't feeling the image at all. Not long after, another picture hit the internet, showing Ruben hugging Lil Baby from behind. That one really had people talking, sparking all kinds of speculation about what might have been happening at that party. To push back on the talk, Lil Baby posted a short clip on his Instagram stories. It showed him and Ruben on a private jet, laughing and joking about the hug picture like it was all harmless. On the surface, it looked like Baby was brushing it off as nothing serious. But to critics, it only added fuel to the fire. For Katt Williams, though, the hug wasn't just a friendly gesture. He saw it as a signal, and not one meant for the public. In his eyes, these kinds of photos or messages exchanged among people in those circles, a way to mark who's inside and who's not. He's been vocal for years that the so-called industry parties aren't really about networking or celebrating. Instead, he calls them initiation ceremonies where reputations and futures are shaped in private settings, away from the regular world's view. Katt often explains that once you step into those spaces, things start happening fast.
Oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular. And
When asked about Ruben, Lil Baby simply called him a super great influence, but he never explained what exactly made Ruben so influential. There were no details about business, mentorship, or guidance. That vague answer left people questioning what he really meant, and why someone with no music background is being praised so highly by one of rap's biggest stars.
Funny, weird, you feel me? I'm dapping Kuzman up, and Mike happy to see me, he run up on me.
Right.
I got 10 other pictures, we down there, we start down there, bam, I'm telling his ass, Mike, I'll slam your ass, I'll break your neck in this, but we play like that. They white, so they don't really understand how I understand. Like, even when the picture came out before it went viral, I told them, like, Mike, I can't have pictures like that.
Right.
Even though me and you playing, bro, it's 100 people at the party. We in the middle of 100 people. There's nothing weird we could be doing in a party.
Right.
With all these people watching us. Literally, when that picture came out, I literally made Mike Rubin go to his security camera at his house, go to the footage and get the whole time, but I just never, like, I ain't even gonna post that shit on the internet.
Right.
I'm just like, F that shit.
Right.
You feel me? Like, yeah, I ain't even trying to make it into this and make it into that. Like, man, just keep on going, because that's kind of like how I be doing. Some shit, like all that type shit.
When asked about the photos with Lil Baby at the white party, Ruben brushed it off as ridiculous, saying it was just a normal party where people drank too much. But the way he kept talking about Baby made it sound like he was personally defending him, not just clearing up rumors.
People don't know you and Michael Rubin's relationship. Like, people know y'all have a relationship.
Yeah, they won't never know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people would think,
I
like,
mean, you care to talk about it for a second.
like
y'all are
Baby,
very close.
Like, Baby, you run with Mike, because whether they'll think like, oh, Baby, Mike Rubin a billionaire, and like, babe, I don't give a what nobody got. You know what I'm saying? Whether he had a billionaire, whether he was a millionaire, whether I had more than him.
But he has been a great influence.
A super great influence, and that's the
done
part that
things
people
for you.
wouldn't see, and that's the part, like, that's the part people want to see, and that's the part, like, I probably wouldn't even be able to bring people up on that speed. And what I mean by that is, like, just like you, for instance, like, man, we got a great...
Things look even stranger when you notice Lil Baby isn't the only rapper caught in odd moments with Ruben. Remember that clip of Meek Mill hopping like a bunny on a tennis court? That was Ruben who made sure it got filmed and shared online.
One of the best human beings in the planet. A great human being, and like, I love his work ethic, and also, like, when you hear his story, and I don't know anything about music, so when I met him the first time with Drake in the Bahamas in 2020, and he's telling me his story about, you know, he was in jail a couple years earlier, he never rapped, and now he's got this great, you know, kind of music career. Like, you just want to root for the guy. And I'll tell you something, I've never actually said this before. You know, the stuff of the drug was the most ridiculous thing in the world, right? We're at a party, everyone's drunk. You know, it's a 13-hour party. People drink a lot of alcohol. You know, someone captures a picture of me jumping on his back for 1 second and says, oh, there's something suspect about it. There's just these drunken guys. By the way, before cameras, we've all done it. Like, let's keep it real. By the way, you love WWE. You've done it more than anybody.
He's rolled around with people in their skivvies.
Right, yeah, exactly. By the way, I haven't gone there. But, you know, the thing that actually killed me about that is it actually hurt his career. You know, last year, and I felt like I've always wanted to help people make.
He's on a good build back.
He's
right
crushing now.
He's crushing.
And I was just with him with Trav and him in London. But it actually, like, the thing is, he's such an extraordinary human being, and he's such a special person. And like, if you think about, you know, people who just want to hate on social media, who, like, one picture of, you know, a bunch of drunken people could be turned into something.
Later brushed it off, saying it wasn't that deep and they were only joking around because he lost a bet. Still, no matter how it's explained, the visual of a black man bunny hopping while a white billionaire gives the orders and films it doesn't sit right with a lot of people. It leaves folks wondering why so many rappers are willing to let Ruben put them in these questionable situations. So where exactly did Michael Rubin come from, and how did he end up in the middle of hip-hop culture? On paper, Ruben's background looks straightforward. He was born in Philadelphia in 1972 to a Jewish family, opened a ski shop at 14 using his bar mitzvah money, dropped out of Villanova, and made $200,000 flipping over stock ski gear. From there, he built a company, sold it, launched e-commerce, and later sold that for billions. Today, he runs Fanatics Inc., which holds licensing deals with the NBA, NFL, MLB, NASCAR, Formula One, and WWE. According to Forbes, his net worth sits at $10.6 billion. But what stands out isn't just the business success, it's the patterns and the people around him. Ruben has essentially taken over the white party lane once owned by Diddy, right down to the guest list. Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, Diddy's Hamptons white parties were legendary, attracting Jay-Z, Beyonce, Leonardo DiCaprio, and more. Now, those same faces are the regulars at Ruben's version of the event. Are we really supposed to believe he just inherited that exact crowd by coincidence? Ruben insists there's nothing strange about these gatherings, saying they're simply about networking and celebrating success. But even with him giving all the right answers, something about his presence still feels off to many. People point to his demeanor and even his eyes, describing them as cold and unreadable, almost like there's a disconnect behind the smile.
Out loud. Keep going. Keep going. 1, 2. Keep going. Keep going. Don't cheat everybody. Have to say.
Now there's also a clip of Ruben himself speaking about how his own girlfriend ended up getting injured during one of his white parties.
Groupies on our staff that's been talking about your parties for the last couple of days. That's dying to get to your parties.
Well, you know what? I've actually figured out, like, if this Fanatics thing doesn't work out, I think I could be a good party promoter.
Man, you kidding me?
Yeah, like, I think
I already got the white suit in the closet, so just let us know what, what's happening.
Yeah. So, you know what it really comes from? I love bringing people from different backgrounds together, and that's something I enjoy doing. Whether it was this lunch we just talked about, whether it's my Super Bowl party, whether it's the white party, for me, it's a great time to. It's like I enjoy bringing people from different backgrounds together. And by the way, I benefit from them because I'm always learning from people there. And so that's really where it started. We started with our Super Bowl party, and our Super Bowl party. By the way, this was like this year's Super Bowl party. I was like, when I had many of the owners of the football teams come up and tell me this is better than the game itself. I thought, like, literally, that's what people were saying to me.
Right?
Yeah. Look, I think what we like to do is bring the right people together in a room and then great things.
First off, why would a grown man call the bathroom the boys' room and then joke about his girlfriend getting injured like it was nothing? He even mentioned the D'Amelio sisters having an accident at his first white party. But that was in 2021, which means Charli D'Amelio was only about 16 or 17 at the time. So why was she even there at 3 in the morning? And here's another detail. Ruben's own daughter, Kylie, was just 17 when she was photographed looking a little too comfortable with older rappers at one of his parties. It all adds to the uneasy vibe around him. There's something about Ruben's presence that feels off, almost unsettling. The question is, how did he manage to connect himself so deeply to both the music industry and Hollywood? It can't just be about his money. There are billionaires far richer than him, yet you don't see them constantly surrounded by rappers, actors, and influencers. The way Ruben has positioned himself raises eyebrows. Remember how I mentioned earlier that he stepped into Diddy's lane? Some say he didn't just inherit the Hamptons white parties, he took on much more. According to Street Talk, Ruben may have also taken over Diddy's alleged blackmail setup. As many already know, Diddy has long been rumored to run something similar to an Epstein-level operation within the music industry. But once Diddy's position weakened and he lost support from the higher-ups, Ruben is believed to have quietly stepped in. Now, this is where things get troubling. For decades, whispers about Diddy-involved parties with underage girls, spiked drinks, and powerful people turning a blind eye. If Ruben really slid into that role, then his white parties are about more than networking or celebration. They could be carrying on the same disturbing patterns under a new face.
We've had, with only 350 people coming, we've had some significant accidents at the party over the past 2 years.
Okay.
The first accident that happened was, I want to make sure I get this right. Charli D'Amelio sliced Dixie D'Amelio's finger trying to cut a bagel at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
That led to several stitches. That was year one's accident. So we actually thought we would be really prepared, and we brought in medical staff for the party, because even though there's 350 people, we had a whole, medical SWAT team there. And
Crazy.
so I went to the back. So after like 12 people performed, just like this incredible, like just natural performances that broke out of the party. I went to the boys' room. And I knew I was turning 50 this year. And so my 50th birthday was coming a couple weeks up, which was pretty depressing to me. And so Joel Embiid's running out to me, Michael, you got to come here. You got to come here. Camille got hurt. This is my girlfriend. He goes, Camille got really hurt. I'm like,
remember this. Yeah.
I'm like, Joe, like stop. Like I'm not falling for this.
Right.
Like I'm like no, you're not tricking me. And then they're like, you got to go upstairs. And all of a sudden, we just had my third daughter, our second daughter together a few weeks earlier. Thank you. And so she fainted. Now I would say, the truth be told, that she tried to drink with the boys and wasn't able to handle herself.
Yep.
She's still going with fainting. It's a real debate within the Rubin household.
I would probably side with you on this.
Of course.
Yeah, this is
correct. No matter, and she actually gets mad at me when I tell her this. She's going with a faint. I'm going with. But anyway, she fell over and hurt herself very badly. So I had to leave at 12:15 the party.
Why'd you have to leave?
Because she had to go to the hospital. They thought she had
That's why you got the medical tent.
The medical,
like, hey, send them off. This is my party.
So I'm going to be honest with you. So the EMT doctor comes in the room. Joelle was in the room, and they're like, you know, her neck could be broken. I'm like, she's fine. Give her a drink. Like, don't worry about it. I'm like, she's good. Like, put her back in the game. Who cares?
I love
it. And Joelle screaming like, I've had this happen. You've got to go to the hospital right now. And someone else is screaming at me. And I came back from the hospital. I, of course, left Camille in the hospital once I knew she was going to leave.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like,
vital signs
I'm coming
good,
back
I'm
in
out.
hot.
Yeah,
I'm FaceTiming Trav. I'm like, Trav, I'm coming back in hot. And there were about 200 people left when I got back. And we went into high gear from the 2 to 4 a.m. was strong this year.
That's the mark of a good party. If at least 5% of your guests go to the hospital afterwards, you did your job.
Well, I think right now we're running 0.5% in cash.
We can bump those numbers up.
Needing medical assistance. Yeah.
Yeah. Get like a bouncy air cast.
We also
Get Billy at this point.
We also had a nameless person who was drunk out of control. I was friends with.
But now I want to hear what you think. What's really going on with Michael Rubin's white parties? Do you believe Lil Baby's sudden change is connected to Rubin, or is he simply experimenting with his style? Could this be a case of influence, or something deeper that looks like an initiation? Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.